I don't have a bunch of time today, but I am going to go through some signals that I'm seeing that are pointing towards a reversal, meaning some kind of pullback in the markets very soon. And I believe these are very good indications that we are going to see some kind of pullback before moving any higher. Now, it's a good thing before the week started that we did tell you about if we do move higher, you're most likely going to see some 30-minute divergence. And we can say how we made this new high up here, right, over the last couple of days. And we're noticing the MACD has just been really going down, and we're really close to that center line, but we can notice that big divergence going all the way down on the RSI. So maybe this is your first indication. And then the next thing we're going to get into is TLT. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split screen this, and we're going to bring up TLT right over here. Both of these are on a 30-minute, and we were paying attention to the difference in these in yesterday's video, which I accidentally posted the same video twice. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff going on, but I was able to get the updated video out this morning. So if you're looking for a more, full breakdown, of these stocks and AMD and what AMD is telling us and things like that, then you can go back into my channel and look at the video from this morning. Okay. But we noticed that as we do make these highs here, we saw TLT was making like a downward move, right? And that's just something we pointed out. Now that did go away as of today, and there's still some things that we can pay attention to. You notice this divergence isn't necessarily that proven here on the MACD, but you can see that divergence down there on the RSI. But we can notice on the 30-minute on TLT, we do have that divergence now setting up. So we haven't seen that cross at this point, but we do have some data coming out in the morning. That would be like initial jobless claims. And then the important talk is tomorrow with Jerome Powell. Okay, so tomorrow's talk with Jerome Powell is going to be the more important one. And then with this, I just wanted to switch over to high yield growth, okay, HYG, and you'll notice the difference between TLT, the SPY, and HYG here. So as you can see, we're making this new high here while HYG is actually sitting a little bit lower, okay? So this might be an indication that we need some kind of pullback, and we can really pay attention to this moving forward, especially with data and Jerome Powell talking tomorrow. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up that I don't talk about normally is IWM. A lot of the time, small caps do kind of, lead the market in which direction we want to go. And you can see that as we're making higher highs in the SPY, we're actually continuing to make lower lows in IWM. Okay, so this is just something I can pay attention to, and we'll get into the next indicator. But overall, you're just seeing those small caps struggle while the SPY and the Qs trickle higher and higher. Real quick, I'll just switch over to the Qs over here just so you can see that divergence on the MACD. Okay, that's why this is kind of proven at this point. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't see one more curl up, maybe even come and test the top of that weekly range. But as of right now, you do have that data coming out. You have Jerome Powell talking, and you really need a pullback in this move for it to remain healthy. So, and unless we just continue to consolidate sideways, but at this point, we're trickling up, right? So this could be the FOMOers stepping in, and you have some signals here with IWM telling you that we might be heading down. One of the other things that's signaling that we could see some kind of drop is the dollar is actually rising, while we're starting to see this trickling up. So you can see the dollar actually kind of, when it did start to rise a little bit, we did see that sell off, but then we started to trickle higher as the dollar continued to move a little bit higher. Now, we did see that drop off today, but overall, when the dollar is going higher, it means we need to be a little bit weary because some kind of pullback could happen. That's just another signal we can pay attention to. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to put this right here on the VIX, and then I'm going to put this here on the VVIX, and we can see what's been happening as far as today goes. Okay, the VVIX actually did see this pop in the morning, and this is what you can pay attention to with this difference in the VIX. Okay, so normally you want to pay attention to the daily bars, right? If the VVIX is just up while the VIX is down, okay? So the fact that the VIX was down by 2.5% today, right? Even though this is a 30-minute chart, we can notice that we did see that pop in the VIX, meaning that there might be some volatility within the volatility very soon coming to fruition in the market. Last thing about the VIX here, okay, you'll notice that we are just seeing this kind of trickling down over time, and that can happen when things get very bullish, right? So there's no reason for people to be bearish, and that's why we're going to need some, fundamental news most likely to get people to sell out of their position. But the important thing here is, even though this is coming down, we can see that volatility might be around the corner, getting some kind of positive trend up here in positive territory on the MACD, because we've been able to push this MACD back up towards that center line. So all we need in order to see some volatility back in this market is we need some kind of pop in the VIX to get into that positive territory and hold up there for a little bit, okay? So this is overall why I'm leaning towards a pullback, and I hope a lot of this information is useful. And if you do, I know I go through things a little bit fast, but if you do go through it one more time and pull it up on your own charts, you're going to see a lot of these things for yourself. So the main takeaway is we're seeing some indication that there's going to be some sort of pullback. And we kind of gave you those levels this morning of where that pullback could go. So if you need those levels, go back and look at this morning's video, okay? Or if you're watching this on the 9th, go watch the video from the morning of November 8th, okay? Now I have carved out some time for tomorrow to go through all of the stocks. So tomorrow we will give you that full video. But for now, I just wanted to say thank you so much for liking, subscribing, making it to the end of the video, and even donating. A couple of you have donated so far, and I really, really appreciate that as I'm starting my own little family here, okay? So I just wish you guys all the luck in the world trading tomorrow. Look out for Jerome Powell, and I'll see you later. Peace.